I'm actually really interested in presenting simple materials through my making or my transformation for it. More attention to the everyday materials, the mundane aesthetics. I think that's something that I would like to present forward aside from just a paper cutting technique. My name is Ashley and I'm an artist working in Singapore, so I specialize in mostly drawing and paper cutting. I recommend when you start cutting, you can, like have your fingers pressed down and so that the paper doesn't get lifted up.
Yeah, it's a lot harder than it looks. Definitely not smooth, but sure.
Yeah, it takes practice. I actually started my patterns looking at like Islamic geometry and things like that, and Japanese geometry patterns.
Okay.
So eventually I developed my own, looking at like botanical plants and like developing the petals. Definitely some visual influence from there as well. I actually haven't really made a lot of art pieces around paper cutting because I think it takes a very long time. In terms of hours, I'm pretty sure it's past 1,000 hours, a few thousand hours cutting.
A few thousand hours cutting. That's commitment right there. Yeah, it gets harder at some point for some reason.
I recommend you can just go drag all the way through, for example like here, and then making sure rather than dragging it out, because that might tear it, so I can just like lift.
Just lift it up. Okay. You know what? There's no such thing as perfect things in the world. I mean, it's got to be a bigger hole than expected.
Yeah.
Let's just say, right, like the piece that you're doing right now, right? If like what would be your like fastest time to complete it? I think it's like the competitive spirit inside me, and that's why I don't think of it as like doing slow. I'm like, oh, how fast can I do this? How fast can I complete the task on hand?
I think if you try to do it quickly, it actually becomes might be a bit anxious. I think in general, like society now have a lot the need to have like instant gratification, or like want things like very quickly at the like waiting for food, waiting for service. They want it like immediately.
Kind of almost like enjoy the little things in life.
Yeah, for sure. Even for here, like for activity to start having patience towards something, that could be a good start.
There's definitely some parts that's it's like rougher, as you say. Like I'm just not used to.
So you can point down a knife if you need to change the blades too.
Like changing the blade in a 10.
When I work with paper, it's kind of like more focused on the simplicity of the materials.
Okay.
To spend so much time just cutting on paper, I think to pay attention to like the more mundane materials, I suppose.
I see.
Because it's very easy to like damage and just throw away a piece of paper as well.
What's your go-to routine, right? Like, let's say when you have to take a break.
I do take some time to warm up because it requires a lot of like concentration. Usually like kind of like having the meal and then just chilling for a bit. The mental warm-up is quite important.
Moment of truth.
Well done. Yeah, so it's kind of like the patterns that you can see here. I think it's really great because some people don't really even complete it, so
oh, wow.
Good job.
That was an interesting activity.
Yeah, hope you enjoyed it.
My neck and shoulder is sore. Oh. Okay. Yeah, that was great. That was great.
I was reading a lot of comics around when I was about 15, and then I think I decided to give art college a shot. And when I was in my final year in LaSalle, I think slightly before I graduated, that I could keep doing what I was doing. I think I can do this as a career.
So you picked the style up in college?
Yeah.
I see.
I work with the idea, this concept of slowness a lot. So for me, the paper cutting is sort of a way to slow down, hopefully translate the experience of slowness back to the viewer when they look at the work. Rather than something that's very sort of stimulating or very visceral, I hope that the viewer will walk away with a sense of equanimity.
I mean, definitely in this like life that we have right now that's very busy and very fast. I mean, we could use some sort of like calmness. For most artists, I know that most of their artworks, they always try to convey a certain type of, message or emotions. Is there like an emotion or a certain message that you wish to convey through your artwork?
Rather than a specific message per se, I think it's more about that atmosphere of the work. I work with lightness, so lightness in the materiality. Paper is quite fragile, it's very easy to get damaged. just paper's accessibility, that it's so easy to get it. Because of that, treat it very lightly through the care in terms of the the cutting. I hope to present that sort of like to pay more attention to paper itself and give it more visibility in terms of the good quality that paper can have as well. When they look at their work, they can actually feel kind of like slow down and feel a sense of peace, peaceful energy from what they see.
Being able to meet an artist, especially, this is something I never thought I would do. It's just the vibe, the atmosphere. I was relaxed throughout the whole way, all thanks to her, of course.